Hi, this is Shane Morton with IndieExpress.com, and I'm here with Scott Hamilton Kennedy, the director and writer of The Garden, which is a film about. I'll let you take it over here.
Sure. It's a documentary about the largest community garden in the country and a very complicated struggle over whose rights to the land when these farmers, after being on the land for 12 years, let me go backwards, excuse me. It's about this garden was started as a form of healing after the 1992 riots related to the Rodney King verdict in Los Angeles. And those riots, as most people know, left South Central devastated, almost like a war zone. And a woman named Doris Block had a wonderful idea to say, well, why don't we, as a form of healing, take one of these empty lots that's burned out, has tire fires in it, and turn it into a community garden. And it worked, and the city allowed it to be turned into a community garden, and for 12 years it flourished with over 360 families, 500 different trees and herbs and every fruit and vegetable you can imagine. It really turned into a farm. I don't know if you can get in your mind what 14 acres is as a community garden. When we think of those, it's really like New York City has a lot of them where it could be 100 feet by 100 feet. It could be like the size of a building. This is 14 soccer fields. It's just incredible. And after 12 years, all of a sudden the farmers saw a piece of paper posted that was sort of said, the land's been sold to a developer and we're going to build warehouses here. No one came and talked to them about that. No one told them anything. And they struggled to fight back and sort of find out why they weren't told and what happened. And there seemed to be a lot of sticking points, like the fact that it was sold to a developer for possibly a third to a quarter of the actual value of the property, that the farmers were never told about it, that there seemed to be a sort of a backroom deal to give this property to this developer. So if the story was just complicated and got more and more interesting every day I shot.
And when this first happened, I remember seeing a lot of press about it. I know that Daryl Hannah, who's actually over at your screening right now, and a few other people had come on board, had protested about the eviction of the farmers from the land and stuff.
Right.
And where where is it all lying now? I know that it's at kind of an end, but
Whatever it
aren't they kind of refinding space?
They are still now in the summer of 2008. I don't want to give away the end of the movie, but it is we will call it an epic tragedy. But the farmers continue. The farmers have a piece of land in Bakersfield, California, a very large piece, like 80 acres, and they cultivate all different fruits, vegetables, and sell them at farmers markets in Los Angeles. So you can find them Saturdays, I think, is in Watts, Sundays in Hollywood, and in not Silver Lake, I forgot the other farmers market, and so they continue, and the struggle continues. Their lawyers are still suing the city to sort of to find out what actually happened here. But it's an American story. It's an American story of the fact that the same government that had the great idea to allow this garden to happen was the same government that somehow sold it back to a developer, and is the same government that allows people that may have never done anything political before in their life to stand up and say, wait a minute, I want my voice heard. I just want answers. I don't want to be given anything. I just want to know what the truth is. I want to know that we're all getting, as one of the farmers says, justice for all.
What drew you to what drew you to the story that this was a film that you needed to make, and kind of how did you came on board really early? You said
Yes.
what brought the story to you?
Well, some of the same things that we've been talking about, the fact, it just, every time I found something about the farm, about the garden, it got more and more interesting. So it began, as I said, as a form of healing related to the riots. That's a wonderful thing to begin with. It's the largest community garden in the country. Unbelievable. You see it from the sky. It's 14 acres of green surrounded by nothing but warehouses. It's just south of downtown Los Angeles. There's nothing but gray, cement, metal everywhere you look. So it's unique in that way. It succeeded for 12 years. It was started by the government, so it's a great idea, and a great idea that you take a terrible situation like the riots and you fix it. That's what our country can do. It's really wonderful to see those things happening. And it was completely self-contained. These farmers did it on their own. They hauled the trash out of this piece of property. They hauled the burning tires out of this piece of property. They brought in dirt and fertilizer so that it could grow and succeed. And then it got more and more interesting as I found out that there was this backroom deal and shady dealings, and that these farmers were going to stand up and fight back. And that's everything that I think we should be honoring in America, or asking questions, having your voice heard. That is what we love about this country. And I hope none of us forget that we can be part of the system. And so often, especially these, as I would call it, very difficult 8 years that we've had of a lot of secrecy and some very I would call horrible decision making in Washington, that we stand up and say, you know what, we can't just let our politicians run free. We have to hold them accountable. We vote them into office. We pay their salaries, and let's be involved in this.
How many hours of footage did you have?
Um,
And I guess how long was the editing process for you in
The
terms?
process was pretty epic. Our first day of filming was February 18th, 2004, and I mean, with follow-up interviews, I was filming probably about 2 weeks ago. I probably did some follow-up interviews. We finished the film Monday morning at about 6, so it's been a long process. And there's sort of my A camera. I was the cameraman as well. We probably had about 240 hours. I'm sorry, no, those are 40-minute tapes, and so it's probably about 200 hours, and then B cameras, another 40, and archival footage, another 15, and legal footage. I mean, there was courtroom scenes, so you have hours of that. So it's quite big, and the editing process was on and off as the money flows. We know the money. You gotta kind of have the money to edit. So as the money came and went, we went on and off the clock with the editing process for probably a good year and a half. So it was quite a process, and it's nice to get it out there.
Well, your film just won AFI Silver Docs. Congratulations, and you're here with us instead. We appreciate that.
I'm honored to be at both festivals, and it was a great honor and a huge surprise to find out this morning that we won Silver Docs. I'm just thrilled. My first day at Silver Docs, I went and saw Man on Wire, which is a spectacular, spectacular film. And as I was enjoying it, I was also kind of slinking down in my seat going, oh boy, I have a lot of work to do. So it was a great honor to be winning a festival that plays films at that level. And again, another honor to be here at LAFF again. I love this festival. I love Rachel and Rich and this whole organization. They're great supporters of independent film and independent documentaries. So
Definitely, definitely. So what's next for you? Do we have something that you've been thinking about doing next since you just finished this on Monday? And
Surprisingly, I have another project almost in the can. I have another project in the can. I produced, directed, and shot a documentary series that we're calling Fame High. It's a year in the life of LACHSA, the LA County High School for the Arts. So it's sort of like performing arts high school, one of the best performing arts high schools in the country. So it's singers, actors, singers, dancers, musicians trying to make it as teenagers, so seniors and freshmen, and we followed them for a whole school year. So we're just going into post-production on that right now.
oh, that sounds fantastic. Is that going to be something you're going to be hitting the festival circuit with, or is that something you're trying to get on like on TV?
A little bit of both. We're deciding right now if we might go festival circuit first and then go to TV. We might go right to TV. It's sort of it's right at that sort of percolating point right now. We'll see if somebody buys it. So call me up.
Fantastic. One last question: have the people that you were filming have they seen the film yet, The Garden?
They are seeing it as we speak.
Oh, so they're there. That's great.
Yeah, they're there right now. Rufina, one of the main organizers at the farm, Rufina Juarez, came with me to Silver Docs, and it was her first time seeing it at the world premiere, and it was nerve-wracking for both of us, and we held hands and had some tears through the course of it. But she seems to be very proud of it, and I'm happy that she's proud of it. I look forward to seeing what the farmers did, because I hope I got it right.
I'm sure you did. It sounds like you have. And thank you very much for sitting here with us. And this is Shane Morton with Indie Express here with Scott Hamilton Kennedy from The Garden.